welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a different video for you. I'm going to be explaining how I manage my money being a cashless budgeter, cashless spender. I don't prefer to use cash in my physical cash in my daily life. I use a variety of other means. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how my money flows from when I get paid all the way through the different categories of my budget. If you don't know, I do post my monthly budgets here on YouTube as well as my monthly recaps where I talk about, how the month actually went. So I will leave my most recent ones linked down below and the playlist if you are interested. But let's go ahead and begin. So I kind of drew out this very rudimentary infographic, so bear with me here. But here at the top, I have my income. So for my salary job, I'm paid twice a month. I'm paid on the 15th or right around there if it falls on a weekend, and the last business day of the month. So these two blocks are every single month. And then I did add a block for any additional income. Now, if you're familiar with my actual budgets, I don't include additional income in the budgeted amounts. I prefer to just go off my paychecks because these are things that I know are going to happen. Now, I am a month ahead with my finances. And what that means for me is that the 15th, so we're in September right now, so my September 15th check and my September 30th check are actually the checks that I'm going to use for October. So this is a little bit different than me budgeting everything out of this paycheck and then this paycheck. I hold them and then use them for the following month. So up here, of course, I have my taxes, my insurance, my HSA, my Roth 401k taken out. And then I have my nets here. This second one's a little bit higher. I do get $65 added into this check as a reimbursement for my cell phone plan because I am a full-time remote employee. So I have to use my cell phone for work purposes. So they do reimburse me $65 for that. So that's why there's a difference. But hopefully this is making sense so far. So here's the income. Now after the income, it goes to my Capital One, what I called my holding account. So on the 15th, this check gets deposited here. Last day of the month, this check gets deposited here. Any additional income I have gets deposited here. This is like the inflow for me. This is where it all holds, so I call it my holding account. Then I start moving stuff around. So I have 4 different places that the money can go, which we'll talk about next. Okay, so the 4 accounts that this money can go to is first, I have a credit union called Wings. It's local to Minneapolis area that my mortgage is through. So some of my money goes there to pay my mortgage. That is the only thing I use this credit union account for. I also have an account with Wells Fargo that I call my bills account. This is where my homeowners association comes out of, my utilities, my car insurance, home insurance, umbrella policy insurance, my phone, and then I also hold my incidental fund here. This is like my cushion fund if you're unfamiliar with my budgeting. So I like to have my bills separate so that all of these are set up with auto draft. So it just comes out of this one account and it's easier for me to maintain. And I just transfer everything I need for my bills for the month over here and then I am done with it. Then I have my Capital One account. So again, my holding account is already in Capital One and then I just start moving it. So the first account that I move money into is what I call my allowance account. So I put my grocery, gas, and spending budget all in here. I also have a different account for annual, Miko, who's my cat, vacation, beauty, gifts, opportunity, home, and emergency. Again, I can talk through all of these and what they are in my budgeted video, so I'll link my most recent budget for you. So a lot of my money stays here in Capital One, and then I do have some money that I invest after my taxes and everything have come out. So I have a brokerage account for something in the future is what I'm calling it. And then I also have a Roth IRA. But basically, I want this holding account to always be back down to 0. This money in the holding account has to go somewhere else. So that's kind of how it works here. I really like Capital One because there's no minimums. So if I bring this account down to 0, I don't get penalized. And then all of these accounts, aside from allowance, this is a checking account. But the rest of these are all high interest savings account, which right now, the interest rates are terrible, even with high interest savings account, but it is better than what I'd get at Wells Fargo. So that's how I manage this. And then from there, to actually like pay my expenses, I have 3 different credit cards that are linked to my Capital One account. So the first one is my Discover credit card. This is my oldest credit card. I got this when I was 18. And part of your credit score is the length of credit history, like how long you've had credit. So I do keep this one open. I have my Netflix subscription and my Spotify subscription linked here so that I'm making a payment every month. And then this also is a cashback card. I am a big fan of cashback cards that helped me pay extra to get out of debt. And they have a 5% category each quarter. So for example, the first quarter I think is like groceries. So if it's the first quarter of the year, I'm going to use my Discover card at the grocery store to get 5% cash back. I think the next one is gas, and then restaurants. And I think the fourth quarter is like Amazon, Target.com, like online shopping. So I am mindful of that. But I don't typically spend outside of those if it's just in a category for the quarter or the Netflix and Spotify. Then I also have a Capital One credit card. This is my like everyday use credit card. Some of the things that I have set up is automatically the Met on Demand is a subscription that we have, as well as Amazon Prime. And then all of my other daily expenses go here. So, for example, right now my Discover card is eating out. So my groceries, my gas, if I'm buying anything for the house, if I'm buying cat food, everything pretty much goes onto this Capital One card, unless if it's in this category over here. Oh, I should mention, this is a cashback card. It's 1.5%. And then the last credit card I have is my Delta American Express credit card. I exclusively fly Delta because I live in Minnesota, so it's a hub. It's very easy. It's usually the easiest airline for me to fly. I used to travel for work almost every week. Now I'm in a remote position, but I will kind of, once the pandemic is a little bit more settled, start traveling a little bit more for my current job, like once a quarter or so. So I am holding this for my work expenses so I can gain miles. I also typically end up using this credit card for travel expenses. And then I put miscellaneous here. This would be the card, like if I had some sort of emergency come up, like I had to get a new hot water heater, or I had to get, I don't know, something for my house that's like kind of a big expense. I put it here because I have a pretty high like credit limit on it, and then I could transfer money from my emergency fund here to pay for it. But this would be kind of like the card I would use in some sort of emergency. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys how I use this. I did want to mention a couple of things. I do track all of my expenses on a spreadsheet, which I'm happy to show if that would be helpful. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing something like that. But I just have a spreadsheet, and each row I put the expense, and then each column are my different budget categories basically, so I can keep track of it. And then I pay my credit cards once a week. So I wait for everything to kind of clear, and then I will pay my cards once a week to make sure that I'm staying within my budget and the credit cards aren't racking up a balance. So that is it. Kind of a short and sweet video, but I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear from you guys. If you have any feedback or questions, let me know. Are you a cash or a cashless spender? Let me know. I feel like a lot of people like the cash envelopes. For me personally, it's like too much work for me. I can't manage it. I end up just grabbing from all the different envelopes and like putting money together. So this certainly works for me, and I hope this was helpful. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out today, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.